A leaked telephone conversation between a Pfizer employee and an activist claims that the pharmaceutical group tried to discuss the COVID-19 vaccines with the South African government for months, but was met with silence. Let's speak to the activist in question now, Mr. Freeman Bhengu, the national coordinator of Sonke Public Forum. Mr. Bhengu, a very good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. What is it that prompted you to, I guess, be asking questions and then reach out to Pfizer?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all your viewers and listeners at home. Our history as in South Africa, pushes us to think hard. We had a pandemic of AIDS, HIV in South Africa, which killed so many people due to non-performance by the ANC government. And we had the issue of life epidemic, which are all health-related, And having had the experience of losing loved ones through AIDS and HIV, and being part of Sonke Public Forum, it was important for us to know what is happening, what is this government doing in terms of requirement of the COVID-19 vaccine. And we have spoken to so many people, we have spoken to so many organizations, we have spoken to BioNTech in Germany, we have spoken to Moderna in the USA. We even phoned the Pfizer head office in the USA, trying to establish what is our government with the knowledge of how they operate, what are they doing. And unfortunately, all the news we've been getting from all these pharmaceutical companies, it's terrible. Our government hasn't been doing anything. Our government only started, I can say, 2 weeks ago to start speaking to pharmaceuticals to procure us a vaccine. And that's what pushed us.
I wonder, Mr. Bhengu, it was only in December when some of the companies who are manufacturers started releasing stage 3 test results for these vaccinations. Now, stage 3, the experts say, is supposed to be one of the final stages of the testing. So, I mean, if we're looking at the time frame here, only in December did we actually start hearing word that it looks like there are some vaccines that are going to be ready for usage. Do you not think, if you consider the time limits, that perhaps government could not commit any sooner because there really wasn't any level of certainty?
Well, that what you're talking about, in what happened in December, is true. But then, vaccine trials started when? Any proactive government, like all proactive governments all over the world, when trials started with all these pharmaceutical companies, government which think of their people, of their citizens, which have concern of this pandemic, they started speaking to those pharmaceuticals. And in South Africa, we were lucky enough that we were part of the trials by Oxford and AstraZeneca. Any smart person would start negotiating then that with anybody who's doing the trials, if your trials are successful, can we be on the line, on the queue to procure this vaccine? So saying that the pharmaceuticals started announcing the results in December doesn't hold any water. Our government should have been proactive. Our government should have started something. Look, as Sonke Public Forum, we started phoning organization in December. But we don't have the manpower, we don't have the resources government have, we don't have the contacts government have. Our government is contacting the BRICS countries, which is Russia and China, which all of them have got the vaccine. But what have they done? Nothing. So the timing of it has got nothing to do with it. It's got everything to do with incompetency by our national government, which is led by the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, and our Minister of Health.
Freeman, the fact that we are actually going to be getting vaccines before the end of this month from AstraZeneca, coming from India, does that not show that there were perhaps some sort of negotiations happening, maybe not with Pfizer? The ones that you spoke to said that government came to the party late, but it looks like there were some conversations happening in other corridors. And I'm really, I don't really want to be speaking on behalf of government here, but what I am speaking on is the facts that we actually have on the table, the fact that we are going to be getting a vaccine from this very month, from AstraZeneca.
Well, let's wait till we get that vaccine because, saying something and doing something is two different things. And we are not going to be led into the same path again by this government promising us something and doing the other thing. Let's wait for the vaccine to come in and let's see what happens. And let's see who gets vaccinated and let's see what happens after that. Other than that, personally, the AstraZeneca vaccine, it's not a major thing in terms of what has the government done because we are, as South Africans, we were used as guinea pigs for this vaccine trials. So, in fact...
So let me ask you, Freeman, so what is your argument here really? Is your argument that South Africans, as you've just said now, are being used as guinea pigs? So you're saying that you're not trusting the efficacy of the vaccinations? Or is your argument that government has been ineffective in procuring the vaccine as displayed, as you say, by your conversation with the alleged Pfizer employee?
No. What I'm saying is that we need alternatives. We cannot be given just one or given an option of one vaccine. We've got 3 or 4 vaccines all over the world which have been proven to be its efficacy to be working. Why don't we have an option? And the other thing is the reason why I own these pharmaceutical companies was the issue of monopoly. Our government, all over the world, governments have monopolized the procurement of this vaccine.
Can I ask you just one more question, Freeman? When we've had conversations with government, because we've asked them, why is it that they're going for the AstraZeneca vaccine from the Serum Institute as opposed to perhaps the Pfizer vaccine or the Moderna vaccine? And what they've said is, according to the research so far, with the Pfizer vaccine, it is perhaps the most efficient one after 2 doses, but it needs to be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. And those storage conditions are simply not accessible to many, while the AstraZeneca vaccine only needs refrigerator storage. So that seems to be the preferred choice for now. What are your thoughts on that?
Sister, the issue of storage and also called refrigerators, South Africa has solutions. We have spoken to distributors of Panasonic in South Africa, and they've said they've got in stock fridges which can carry 200,000 vaccines at a time. And there's a company in South Africa which is Johannesburg, it's JSE listed by the name of Renegen. They've got what they call CryoVac, which stores a vaccine from Pfizer or Moderna or any other vaccine that can be stored for more than 30 days. South Africa has solutions. This is what we are saying is government should involve the private sector. Government should involve civil society. You cannot monopolize. The thing is, government is monopolizing this and it's politicizing this. That's why it will never have solutions. Right now, I can tell you there are 2 companies in South Africa who can solve the problem of storage. There's a company, in fact, there's a gentleman in South Africa by the name of Chris Hart. Because from this conversation, from this question of storage, we are going to come to the question of financing and funding. And right now there are news that the government will increase tax and whatnot. There shouldn't be a reason to increase tax because there are financing models which are available in South Africa, which are meant for South African market, which can buy these vaccines, no matter how expensive they are. We have the capacity and the capability to procure this and secure for South Africans.
Freeman, what you have said is that you're actually going to be taking this matter up and you're looking at your legal options. What is it that you plan to do?
Look, I was in Johannesburg 2 weeks ago meeting with our lawyers from Liberty Fighters Network who have won 2 cases against government regarding the lockdown and COVID. What they've said is they can open a case, they're going to take we concluded that we're going to go to court against government regarding monopoly of this. But then 2 days or 3 days after that, Solidarity Fund and not Solidarity Fund, Solidarity Union and AfriForum initiated this. And right now what we know is that they are taking government to court regarding the very same thing, which is the monopoly of the procurement of the vaccine. So that one we have just left out. We said, okay, let's have the guys from AfriForum and Solidarity Union to do that. We'll concentrate on other things, in creating awareness. This government is not doing anything, and it's not enough what they've done so far. We are not happy.
All right, Mr. Bhengu, thank you so much for your time. That's Mr. Freeman Bhengu there from Sonke Public Forum. They will be taking the government to court, they say, along with other NGOs that he did mention. And this is for the allegation that government is monopolizing this entire procurement process. We did receive a statement from Pfizer. We did ask them what their response is. And as you can see there, they say since the outset of this pandemic, Pfizer has been committed to playing its part in discovering breakthrough therapies and vaccines to fight this global health crisis. Throughout 2020, we worked closely with governments, international initiatives, as well as other stakeholders to ensure that once an effective vaccine is discovered, we could supply the world together as quickly as possible. Our commitment to equitable access has informed our approach of prioritizing engagement with national governments and international initiatives to ensure a coordinated national and international approach. Well, basically what they're saying is that they continue to work with government. They didn't really delve into the merits of the allegations that were made in the recording that was done by Freeman Bhengu from Sonke Public Forum.